It's good to see only two students, three students in the class. That's great. Wonderful. By the way, your results has come almost. I have checked almost all the copies, and those results have been disastrous. More than 80-90% of the students are not able to pass the exam. More than 80-90%. People are not able to pass the exam. Not only that, people are not getting failed on 11 marks or 10 marks. People are getting failed on 1 0 2 3 5 1 0 2 3 5 1 0 2. More than 70% of the students have just single digit marks, single digit. And out of that, I guess 50% of the people have less than 5. Less than 5. Until now, whatever the number of copies I've checked in that. Anyways, tell me, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Let me put the joining information. Although it is there, no new information for joining, but still people have not joined. Fine. Let's not to worry about those students who have not joined. Let's worry about those students who have joined. If they have decided to spoil their careers, to spoil their lives, then no one can save them except themselves. Fine, guys. Let's start studying. Okay. So you must be aware about the last class topics. Can somebody tell me what we have discussed in the last class?
Sir,
Types of
types of
languages.
language.
You people were not audible. Say it once again.
Sir, types of languages.
Types of languages. That's what we have covered. Have I explained the comparison also? Have I explained you that what is this comparison thing?
We just
Or
discussed it briefly.
you have just written this, or
Yes, sir.
have I explained something also?
Uh, you explained also, and we written also.
Okay.
Only from top, not in depth.
Oh, okay. So have I explained that what is linear comparison and what is non-linear comparison?
No, sir, no.
This I haven't told. Fine. Write something in CFL also. First thing is it is at most one linear comparison plus no separator element. Write this in CFL and then we will start our discussion for today. Write this thing in CFL also. Written?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So finite, non-finite is not something which I have to say. You are already aware with it. Okay. So one topic, one thing which you must have uh, noticed every time what I'm mentioning is some terminologies are there. One is called comparison. This terminology I'm using. One is called linear. And obviously if you are learning linear, then you should also find out what is non-linear. All right. And with respect to comparison, there is one more thing called internal and external. That's what I have written. Okay. So first, let us find out that what is the meaning of all these things. So let us first focus on this word called comparison. When we say that, how to identify that whether there is a comparison or not. Remember, suppose in your string two components are there, A and B. All right. Now if I say A star, B star. So A star, this whole thing represents what? Number of A. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It represents number of A. This represents number of B. So when I'm taking this string A star, B star, so have I ever compared this number of A with number of B? It's like number of A can be anything, and it really doesn't bother me to have number of B's. All right. Am I clear for this thing? So if number
Yes,
of A
sir.
is 5, number of B is 6, 7, 8, whatever, it is not dependent on number of B. So when number of B and A are independent of each other, all right, then it is called as no comparison. It's like we are not having any comparison. And in a case, if any, by any means, internal, external, whatever the language is, but if by any means this number of A or number of B, if they are dependent on each other, if they are dependent on each other by any means, then we will say that there is a comparison. Everybody has got the point that how to say when there is a comparison, when there is no comparison. Everybody is
Yes,
clear
sir.
for this now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, next point we have to discuss. What about this linear and non-linear? So what's this linear is when degree of comparison is at most 1. Got it? When degree of comparison is at most 1, then it is called linear comparison. And when this degree of comparison is greater than 1, then it is called non-linear comparison. Now let me tell you how to judge this degree. For example, suppose if I said that a power n, this whole thing represents what? This complete thing represents number of a. Square is equal to b power n cube. So this whole thing represents what? number of B. All right. So now if you see that number of A is not simply being compared with number of B, rather it's square. So the degree of comparison goes what? First of all, you have to find out the square. So degree of comparison goes greater than 1. Here degree of comparison becomes 2, and here degree of comparison becomes 3. So this type of comparison is called as non-linear comparison. Are you clear for this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want this yes sir from everyone. संजय, समझ में आया नहीं आया?
Yes, Raja.
Fine. So everybody must be clear about few things here. What is comparison? Now you know. What is linear comparison? Now you know. What is non-linear comparison? Now you know. Now let's talk about internal and external. What is this internal external? These are not some different types of comparisons. Rather, these are just two ways to represent that comparison. Okay. For example, internal and external are not different types. For example, I have given a question in which I have written a power n, b power n, where n is greater than equals to 0. This is one language, what I have written. All right. Suppose the name of this language is L1. And there is one more language in which I have written a power n, b power m. And here I have written n is equal to m. Okay. Now tell me one thing. In this, are we comparing number of A with number of B? Yes or no?
No, sir.
We are not comparing. Are we not saying that number of A and number of B should be same?
Both should be same. Number of A and number of B.
Ahmed?
Yes, sir.
So are we saying number of A and number of B should be same? Yes or no?
No, it's not should be same.
What?
No, sir.
Why? It is written clearly N. It is N.
Yes, same power.
So that means what? Number of A should be same as number of B.
Yeah,
Yes
yeah,
or
yes.
no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Then why you are refusing?
No, no. I thought you talk about the value of A should be
Not
same.
not the value. Here there is no value. Why?
Yes,
Because
yes.
we are not talking about mathematics. This is about the language. A is only A. A cannot be equal to 1 or 0. We are
Yes,
talking
sir.
about languages. A represents only A. There is no existence of value. Got it? So we are comparing. But this type of comparison is called internal comparison. So comparison is there in now you see this. Are we saying here that number of A should be same as number of B?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Of course, yes. But if you see only this part, here number of A and number of B is independent of each other. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If you see only this part, सिर्फ इतना देखेंगे तो number of A number of B से compare नहीं हो रहा है. But once we have got this particular section, now this part is comparing number of this part is comparing number of A with number of B. So this type of way to write the comparisons is called external comparison. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now you know what is comparison. Now you know that what is linear comparison, what is non internal. The questions first, I want you to learn all these things. I want you to give 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, right now it is 8:52. Take time till 8:55, 8:53. It is already there. Take time till 8:56. If you want to prepare notes, prepare your notes, plus learn these things also. I'm staying with this slide. Whenever you say to go to further slide, I will go. I will show the further slides. Take 3 minutes and start making your notes. Nobody said to forward the slide. Are you people writing or not?
Yes, sir. Done.
Done, sir. Done.
Say me when you have done with the slides.
Done, sir.
Everybody have done?
Done, sir.
No, sir. Just 1 minute, please.
Please take it. No problem.
Done, sir.
Done, sir.
Fine. Everybody have done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Done.
Fine. Let's move further and let us find out what next to do. So next and the most important part is now the questions. Now based on all this, I will be taking you to the questions. Okay. And ideally what you should do, I will discuss most of those questions in the class. And what you should do, you should try those questions very, very sincerely. Remember, let me tell you one thing, the statistics from your midsem 1. Although while we are checking answer sheets, we don't know to which student or to which class it belongs to. But whatever the answer sheets I have checked, 90% more than that, even 90% of the students have done wrong in the Mahil-Nerot theorem question. Why this happened? If you remember, I clearly told this thing during the class that if you are thinking that once I will tell you the question, after that you will be comfortable enough with the question, this is not right. This will not happen. You will think, you may think of it that yes, now you are comfortable enough. But let me tell you, I said this thing at that time only, that it's just your myth that once sir will tell us the question, then we will be very, very comfortable with the question. But this is not the case. You will be comfortable, that's not a problem, but you will not be able to write that particular part into the exam. I told you that only those students who are trying in the class, only and only those students will be able to attempt those questions in the exams. And this happened. Everybody have learned, everybody have attended Mahil-Nerot theorem class. All right, because we have taken it for 3 4 classes, so everybody have attended that, but just few of you would have solved it into the exam. You know the reason why? Because just few out of all those people who have attempted have tried to do that question within the class. It doesn't matter whether they have written the correct solution or whether they have written the incorrect solution in the class, but the important thing was that they have attempted those questions. The people who have not attempted that question within the class, they were not able to solve in the exam. Although they know Mahil-Nerot theorem, if I give them once again, they will probably they will be able to solve it. But that exam pressure, they were not able to solve. And I had to award 0 1 2 0 1 2 marks in that 8 marks question. If you would have attempted just two questions out of your paper, one is that minor question and another one can be just another 4 marks question or 6 mark question. Two questions were very easy. Mile-Nerot theorem question. The same question what we have discussed in the class, that same question came into the exam. I already said this thing that yes, this is one important topic. It usually comes, and I said this thing also that usually small questions does not come in this particular topic. That means already almost everybody knew it, that yes, this question is going to come. Still, you people have not practiced it. Now, my suggestion is that don't make this mistake once again, because the questions what we are going to discuss now, they are also of Mahil-Nerot type. They always comes. But yes, definitely in Mahil-Nerot theorem, there was not huge variety of questions. But here, there's a huge variety of questions, and any question can come. But pay attention to the class. I will tell you the methods how to solve the questions. Based on those methods, you will be comfortable with almost all of the questions, almost every question of that type. Okay, so be comfortable enough with all these questions. Important part is that try them within the class along with me, plus practice them at home. Then and only then you will be able to attempt these questions in your exams. Otherwise, you will not be able to attempt these questions in the exams. All right, fine. So let's start with the questions. Before those questions, I just want you to brush up all this. I'm giving you 2 minutes for this. Brush up all these skills, brush up all these points with respect to regular, DCFL, CFL, CSL, recursive and recursively enumerable. Okay, just brush up all these points. Take 2 minutes. 8 it's 9:41 till 9:06. You should be able to brush up all these things. Take your time and brush up. Done with this? I want an
Yes.
answer from everyone. Have you done with this? Fine. Let's begin with the questions. So in all the questions, what will happen? Every time I will give you a language and I will give you different options. So let me write those options already. All Every question will be having four, 5 options. You have to identify that whether the given language is regular, or it is DCFL, or it is CFL, or it is CSL. Four options are available. All right. In almost all the questions, four options will be available, and you have to find out whether it should be like it belongs to which particular option. Yes. So let's start with this. L is equal to A star B star.
Sir, screen not
Sir,
visible.
screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible. Wait. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
visible.
Yeah.
Sir, is it regular?
Mm, Ahmad is saying it should be regular. Anybody else
Yes.
who want to give his suggestion about the category of this language? कोई और जिसे इसमें कोई जवाब देना है?
Yes, sir. Regular.
Regular. Yes, it is regular. The simple reason is because here we have written A star, B star. It means number of A and it means number of B, and definitely there is no dependency between number of A and number of B. There's no dependency at all, as you can see. All right. So definitely there is no comparison. How many A's I want to have, I can have without worrying about that how many B's I have, or I can have number of B's also independent of number of A. So it is regular. Yes, you are right. Let's take a new example. L is equal to A power n, B power m, where m comma n is greater than equals to 0. Find out. Yes, everybody please try this. Whether it is regular, DCFL, CFL, CSL, which type of language it is. Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Try this, everybody. Tell me whether it is regular or DCFL or CFL.
ACFL.
Arey, what happened? Nobody is replying.
DCFL, sir.
DCFL, sir.
DCFL. Okay. So most of you are saying DCFL. So can you please tell me the reason why it is DCFL? DCFL does mean that you found one comparison over there. So where you have seen that comparison, tell me.
In powers of A and B.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay,
A
sir. No,
power
no, no. Comparison.
n and B power m. Show me where is the comparison.
Yes, sir.
So
No
it's
comparison.
regular.
Regular. Yes.
Yes. Because this number of A is never been compared with number of B. In fact, if you watch it carefully, this is one more way of writing A star B star, nothing else. In A star B star also you say this. Number of A can be anything, it should be greater than 0. That's what you are saying. Number of A can be anything greater than 0. Number of B can be anything greater than equals to 0. Number of B can be anything greater than equals to 0. So no comparison at all. This is not DCFL. This is regular only. Clear for this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes,
Now
sir.
let me tell you what you should do. Once we will be over with the lecture, okay, once you will be over with the day schedule of today's classes, immediately what you should do, just get these slides, open them, or see the lecture recording, and write this question, write this option, and make your notes along with all these questions, that why this was regular. Because you know at last what will happen, if you will not write the proper notes, then what you will be having the question and only with the right ticks. So let me tell you very honestly, this right tick is not important, because after 10 or 15 days you will not be able to remember that how this was regular or how this was DCFL. So what is most important thing? You must write your notes after the lectures of today and write the notes of every day. Don't wait that by tomorrow you will write the notes of today's class, or you will take a 1 day lag. Don't do this, because tomorrow again I will be giving you plenty of questions. Today it is very less because a lot of time we have spent in understanding this comparison, non-linear, linear and all that stuff. But tomorrow, on the very tomorrow or whatever is your next class, I mean to say, on the very first moment I will start giving you these questions. All right, at that point of time you will not be having chance to write the previous day notes. So you must complete today's notes by today itself. All right, now take out this new language. L is equals to a power n b power n, where n is greater than equals to 0. Tell me which type of language it is.
DCFL.
Somebody said DCFL. Anybody else?
Yes, sir.
DCFL.
DCFL.
DCFL. All are thinking DCFL?
Yes, sir.
Great. So, yes, you all are correct. It is DCFL. It's quite evident because number of A are directly compared with number of B. So, yes, it is DCFL. But remember, don't forget to make notes. Keep making notes for this. All right. Now, I'm taking a different language. Try this one. L is equals to A power n b power n and c power n, where n is greater than equals to 1. Which type of language it is?
Sir, also DCFL.
Remember, what was the quality of DCFL? It can have at most one comparison, not more
Yes,
than
but
that.
n more than or equal to 1.
No, dear, less than or equal to 1. It's not where I have written more than equals to 1. It is at most. At most is not, it is not at least. It is at
Yes,
most.
yes, sir, but n, it's equal or more than 1. So we have option 1.
Oh my God. You are comparing this. Ahmad, are you comparing this thing?
No, no, sir.
Hmm.
Sorry, sorry, sir. Now I get it.
Number of A has to be compared with further terminals. Everybody, please try this.
CSL, sir.
One person said CSL. What about others? बाकी लोग कुछ नहीं बोल रहे. Somebody else who want to register a review his answer. See, check it out. Here, number of A is compared with number of B. This is for sure. So there is one comparison with respect to A. There is one comparison. Yes or no? That number of A. Wait, let me add one more thing here. Comparison over a single variable. Comparison over a single variable. This is also over a single, I'm writing here, single variable. Okay, fine. Over at least one variable. Yeah. So what is happening here? Number of A is being compared with number of B. Yes or no? Keep replying. Number of A is
Yes, sir.
being
Yes, sir.
compared with
Yes,
number
sir.
of B. All right. So with respect to number of A, we already have one comparison C1. Then again C
Yes,
also
sir.
has to be same. That means what? Number of A is compared with number of C once again. Got the point? Number of A has to be compared with number of C once
Yes,
again.
sir.
So for number of A, we are having another comparison, that is C2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
number
sir.
of A are being compared twice. More than one time it is being compared. That is why we can say that for number of A we have multiple number of comparisons. That's what the reason why it is CSL. Got the point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Let's have another language. L is equals to A power n, B power n, C power m, where n comma m is greater than equals to 0. What type of language it is? Try this at home. Let us first continue with the attendance. Okay. First I'm taking your attendances, and post attendance, if we will have some time in our hand. So how many students are there? Very few, na? Just 8 or 9 students are there. Nobody please leave the class. Okay, let's cover the attendance first, or do one thing. Just few students are there. All the TD1 students, please put your attendance into the chat box. All TD1 students, put your attendance into the chat box. Only TD1. Fine. Now all TD2 students, put your attendance into the chat box. Fine. No need to leave the class. We can continue. Attendance is done. Just few students are there. Yeah. So find out which type of language it is.
DCFL.
CFL, sir.
Which one?
DCFL.
DCFL. We have got one answer. DCFL. Anybody else? Anybody else want to register his answer?
CFL, sir.
CFL. Somebody saying CFL. Anybody else? Don't type into the chat box. I don't want to switch my screen. Now, CFL is not correct. Why it is not correct? Give me some time. We will understand it. Okay. Now just take a look. Number of A are being compared with number of B. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now for number of A, is there any other comparison?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
For number of B, is there any other comparison?
No.
No,
So
sir.
this is
No,
quite
sir.
equivalent to A power n, B power n, C star, if you see it. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It is,
Yes, sir.
right? So this is A power n, B power n. Only one comparison. C is not compared with anyone. So that's why it is DCFL. The one who has answered CFL, wait for one more lecture. In the next lecture, I will discuss that what is the difference in CFL and DCFL. Like as I have written over there, that separator, there is an element called separator. So what is the significance of that separator? When we will discuss that, after that you will be comfortable with doing this. Okay, till then don't mark CFL for anything. It should be regular DCFL or CSL only. Don't mark CFL. We will discuss in the next lecture that what is the meaning of this separator. Are you clear for this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Clear, sir.
Now let's try the last language for this lecture. A power n, B power n, C power n, where n is greater than equals to, sorry, n is less than equals to 10,000. Now tell me which language it is. See the number of comparisons carefully.
CSL, sir.
Ahmad is saying it should be CSL. Probably he may be correct because it's clearly visible that there are two comparisons.
Recursive language.
Recursive language का तो option ही नहीं है.
Okay, okay, sorry, sir. CSL, sir. CSL.
CSL. We have got one more answer for CSL. Anybody else? Anybody else want to say something about the answer? रचित सर की क्लास है. Anybody else? Fine. So Ahmad, tell me why you think it is CSL?
Because we have two comparison.
There are more than one comparison. Okay. Now, who else has given CSL as the answer?
Yes, sir.
Tejas. Why you think it is CSL?
Because there are multiple comparisons.
Multiple comparisons. But both of you, have you noticed this? Now go back and check the definition of regular. What we have written. If language
Finite.
is finite, and I told you this also, if it is finite, now it really doesn't matter whether it has comparison, it doesn't have comparison, it has more than one comparison, it has non-linear comparisons, whatever type of toughness is there, if it is finite, right away you can say that language is regular. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Check this. Is it finite or not?
Yes, sir. Finite.
Tell me, it is finite or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir.
finite.
It is finite because the maximum length of this string can be 9999 into 3. This is supposed to be maximum length of this language. We will not get any string more than that, and obviously number of strings are also finite, not only length. I told you it's not only about length, it's about the number of strings also, that is also finite. So that's why it is regular. All right, so be careful about these things. Okay, study them very well in this Sunday and Saturday. Okay, and I will see you on the next class. Fine, so let's get off with the class. Okay, attend your next class. Thank you so much. I hope there's no doubt in the class.
Clear, sir.
Fine, good enough.
Clear, sir.
We'll we'll talk about the next things on the next class.